Hi guys, it's Risa. How are you? I'm so excited to teach you how to make one of my favorite all-time side dishes. Very quick, very easy, and of course, delicious. I found this recipe at a Chinese buffet many years ago, but I knew that it wasn't low fat. I love eggplant. I love the Chinese purple eggplant, that is, and that's what it was. It was quite spicy. And I knew that there was a lot of oil in it, so I had to resafry it, of course. So basically what I like to do is at my grocery store, you can buy them in a container or you can just buy them individually. And I use usually about 3 or 4. If I'm having a lot of people, maybe 4 or 5. And I like to cut it up into a nice slant shape. I like them a little bit spicy. But if you don't like a lot of spice, you don't need to use a lot of spice. You can decide what you like, okay? So this is just a base of what I use, and you can do what you want and add as much or as little of the ingredients that I use. So I like to start with some garlic powder and onion powder. If you want to use regular garlic, you can use fresh garlic. I always use like a lower sodium soy sauce and probably about a tablespoon or 2 depending on how much you're making, okay? I don't like to use a ton of soy sauce because again, I try to watch the sodium intake. I love apple cider vinegar. It gives it some nice flavor and usually about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more if you want. Again, it's a preference in how much of the eggplant you are using. I use about a tablespoon or so of some sesame oil if I'm making a lot, or just about a teaspoon if I'm just making a couple like I am now. Again, I love hoisin sauce. It's really delicious. It's very flavorful, and I like to put about probably 1 to 2 teaspoons of it, again, depending on how much you're making. So you're going to cut your eggplant. Now, if you have time to do it the day before and let it sit in its own juices, it marinates, and anything marinated to me is so much better. And then if it forms a sauce, what I do to thicken it is I use a little bit of xanthan gum. It's a natural thickener. I mean, you can use cornstarch, but a little bit of this, like a 1/3 of a teaspoon even, really thickens any sauce that you have, or soup, or whatever you're making. If you want to make it thick, if you're making a fruit and you want to thicken it, a sauce, this is perfect. Okay, I bought this at the low carb grocery store, but I've also seen it at health food stores. So you're going to mix all your ingredients together. Cut your eggplant. I almost said zucchini because sometimes I add zucchini with the eggplant because I love both so much. It's like they're probably my favorite veggies. And you have to find what your favorite is. So again, I've marinated it for a few hours and it's a nice brown color. If you like to make it earlier, you can, and you can serve it cold, you can serve it hot. It's really good. I like it hot, but again, it's a personal preference. So have your skillet nice and hot. You can tell that it's hot, and I just like to use a little bit of Pam cooking spray. I always call it Pam, so used to that. So you can just spray your pan. And the other thing I love is teriyaki sauce. I add a little bit of teriyaki sauce as well, and I keep some to baste it with while it's cooking, and it gives it a really nice glaze. So you're going to add your eggplant, and you're going to hear that nice sizzle. And really, it only takes a couple of minutes on both sides. So I'm just adding it. And if you're having company or you're not going to be eating for a while, you can just preheat your oven to a low heat, put it in a baking dish, and keep it in the oven, and it'll stay nice. And it'll be nice and warm and delicious. So I'm just adding all of that, and I'm going to taste it. It's good. Now, if you like things a little sweeter, you can even add a little bit of swerve to it, a little bit of honey. You can use a little bit of brown sugar. That's not going to hurt you. Or you can just have it like this, just whatever you like. So again, as I mentioned, I like to just baste it, and it makes it look so pretty. It gives it a really nice glossy look with the teriyaki. Now, I found the no sugar teriyaki sauce, but most teriyaki sauces aren't full of sugar. And it looks really pretty. I'm just going to show you. See? Really nice glaze. And you're just going to cook it for about a couple minutes, and then you're going to turn it over. I'm just going to show you that I've finished. I'm going to add a little bit more sauce on these to make it look pretty at the end. Whoops. And you want it to be like nice and soft. Oh, it's really good, people. I think you're going to like it. It has a different consistency than the really large eggplant. I just love it so much more. So it only takes a few seconds, a few minutes. You can prepare it, which I love, an hour before, a day before, a couple of days before, and just super easy. You could even barbecue it, which would be delicious as well. You want to bake it, you can bake it. I like to pan fry it because I like it a little bit, it gets a little bit crispy on the outside. And that's it. So I hope you like this video. I hope you subscribe and visit me at Risa's Recipes and Weight Watchers Tips. Love you. Bye.